Testing, one, two, testing. What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live Sunday Stock Talk. I'm your host, Johnny Trades. Thank you for being here today. It is Sunday, March 8th, 2026, and we are going to be going over the top 5 oversold companies for our weekly Sunday Stock Talk. So I hope you guys all enjoy. Also, if you'd like to share any of your stock picks with us in the live stream, all you have to do is give us your ticker symbol in the live chat. And if you're having trouble with the live chat, remember, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and you can participate in our live chat, okay? It is 5:59 my time. Market opens in about 30 seconds. So excited to react to the market with you all. I'm sharing my links with the team in the Discord. If you want to watch me trade as live as soon as tomorrow morning, you have to sign up with the first link in the description below. That'll give you access to our live streams every morning. So let's go. Market is officially open. Let's see how it reacts. Whoa! Whoa! Huge gap down. Huge gap down. All the way down to 588. 588. Holy moly, guys. That is insane. All right, live stream is doing good. We are live. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay and see me okay. And we're going to go over a few companies here. Wow, 589, guys. It says 589, but on here it says 598. So, wow. Wow. Huge gap down. And I was actually expecting this because Bitcoin, if you see where this little yellow crosshair is, this is where the overall market closed. And Bitcoin is actually a really good indication of what direction not only Bitcoin is going in, but the overall NASDAQ market will be going in. So, you know, when it opens high, the market will usually open high. And when Bitcoin is below, the markets will usually be in a sell-off period. But this is amazing. Bitcoin down to 65,980. It was as low as 65,600. I should have held about 100 shares overnight, as MSTZ is up to $12.40 at one point just now. MSTR down to 128. This is beautiful. I'm loving this reaction of the market still selling off here. I would have loved to have been able to participate in it, but nonetheless, we'll see what we can do here today. QQQ down to 588. A huge drop. That's another 2% drop. And, you know, as a reminder, the market has really been selling off since Friday. I mean, we've had this kind of up and down trend for QQQ overall. It touched highs of 619, so you can say since, you know, February 25th, it's been selling off down about 3%, but now it's down 5% since February 25th. That is just insane. Insane, guys. Whoa. What a crazy reaction. So let's go over the economic calendar. Let's go over a couple other things here. Hello. Oil is also up. Oil crossed over $100. We're going to go over our economic calendar. So let me bring that up real quick. Where's the Discord? Right here. Wow, insane reaction to the overall market right now. Insane. Okay, let's see. Most anticipated earnings releases. Let's go ahead and bring this over here. Remember, you guys can sign up with our Discord and get all of this information before our live stream even happens. Let's see. We got Fuel Cell on Monday, Hewitt Packard. Tuesday, Neo, Kohl's. Nothing too crazy there. Wednesday, Campbell's. Yeah, so not a very eventful week, even though we have a lot of companies reporting earnings this week. Nothing that's really going to be moving the market, as much as say when Nvidia, Google, Amazon report their earnings. But nonetheless, if you guys want to see here, pause it or take a screenshot. You can. You could also get this and download it from the Discord in general, right here under Weekly Economic Calendar. If that's something that you want to do. You can save it there. Okay. Also, some key events this week. I put it in our trade ideas section in our Learn to Earn Discord. Key events this week is the U.S. stock market and oil futures open at 6 p.m. today. So, obviously getting to see what's happening with that. Um, February existing home sales data on Tuesday. February CPI inflation data on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we have the US Q4 2025 GDP data. Okay. January PCE inflation data on Friday as well. And then January JOLTS job openings data on Friday as well. So all eyes are on oil prices tonight. And oil is definitely up. We can go ahead and bring up that chart here and see what oil is at. Crude oil. Um, Crude oil. Let's see. Look at WTI. WTI. Maybe not the best thing to look at here. Oil. Oh, USO. USO is up to 127 overnight from highs of 112, which was crazy. Even on Friday pre-market it wasn't above 100, and then it crossed over 100, pushed up to 112, 113, and now it gapped up to 128. This is insane, guys. Now there was some kind of bombing or something that happened with Iran's oil depot. I believe there was a bombing for that, so of course that's going to probably raise oil prices as well. I know airlines aren't doing very good either, because oil prices are going up, as well as less travel due to, of course, this kind of war going on in Iran, um, as well as oil going up. So ticket prices are going to be a little higher. Um, Companies like Southwest Airlines are going to take a big hit due to less travel, and also the oil prices being higher for their be able to fuel their jets and their airplanes. Jets actually is another one. Jets is also down, huge gap down, 4.5% overnight. That is just sad to see. What about American Airlines? American Airlines down 2% overnight. And I guess I didn't see what Southwest Airlines is. Gap down. Yeah, 2% gap down. So airlines are taking a major hit today. Now, what I wanted to go over was top 5 oversold companies. I think that'd be great to take a look at, as that is the title of this video. Top 5 oversold stocks to buy right now. I mean, obviously, these are not a like buy now you should. It's more like a recommendation. It's kind of what my opinion is, what I see value in, and also what our Learn to Earn members see value in as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes, as they were to say, of this live stream. QQQ obviously still down, taking a nice little hit here. Would have loved to have participated in that with MSTZ. As you know, guys, I have been trading MSTZ probably for the last few months now. Go to chart settings, and we can go to show trade records. So as you can see, I've been trading MSTZ and pulling money out of this for quite some time. We're talking making $292 last week, $360 the week before, a couple $100 the week before that. And this all started back in, I believe, December. Last week in December. Nope, we started the first week in December. Last week in December was a big week for us too, pulling out hundreds and hundreds of dollars out of the stock market, out of just this one company, MSTZ. So love to see it. If anyone is not familiar with MSTZ or following along, it is a double leveraged inverse ETF of MSTR. And for all of you who follow and watch the live streams, know that MSTR is just a BS company. It's nothing more than a Bitcoin treasury, as they were to say. Michael Saylor has no way of actually making money with this company. It doesn't sell a service, it doesn't sell a product, it just holds Bitcoin. And not only is it doing worse than Bitcoin is, right? Bitcoin pushed up, to $125,000, and it's been selling off. So it's not saying that Bitcoin is the best, but just to take this into perspective, Bitcoin's at 126,000. It pushed all the way down to 60K. That was a 50% sell-off for Bitcoin. Okay, 50%. That's pretty massive, but considering where Bitcoin has sold off before, Bitcoin tends to sell off between 50 and 70%. Anytime it has these significant rallies, you see it go up and down, up and down. It pushes up and it comes down. So Bitcoin knows very well, that it could push up and down and has a lot of volatility when there are those rallies. But MSTR, guys, it was at a high of $543. That initial sell-off was 58%. It then pushed up to $457, and it was still down 15% from all-time highs. So taking all-time highs into account, this company has sold off 80%. 80%. Okay, not 50%, 80%. So anyone who bought at $540 has lost 80% of their account. Not saying this can't recover, but on the grand scheme of things, Michael Saylor does nothing but actually borrow money against his shareholders. It then dilutes the shareholders. It dilutes his company just to buy more Bitcoin. He believes Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million. Maybe. It's not happening anytime soon. But he's betting and gambling on it all to go up. There was an article that said it's either going to go to $1 million or $2 million or to zero. That was what he said for Bitcoin. And he's willing to risk it all. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and go back to the companies that we see value in. Okay, I have a couple that I already have my opinion on, and there's probably a couple that you guys have an opinion on as well. Major delays. Hey Johnny. Hey folks. Major CL Oil. Yep. 7:59 p.m. Florida. Yep. 8 o'clock. Market opens in Florida on the East Coast. Andrew, what's up? Hello. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Remember, if this is your first time watching one of our weekly Sunday stock talks, we host them every week. And if you want to watch me trade as soon as tomorrow morning, then all you have to do is click the first link in the description or the first pinned comment, and you will get access to our free Discord where you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow morning with real cash, locking in real profits and losing real money too. Sometimes we don't always make profits, although we're on our 5th or 6th green day in a row. Neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. All right, so share your stock tickers with me whenever you are ready, and we're going to go ahead and start talking about a few that I see value in today. So one of the ones, guys, I have to talk about it, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of those companies that is in that oversold territory, deeply oversold and undervalued for sure. It's about to bounce off of this moving average. Now, there's nothing saying it has to bounce off of this green line right here. We could see lows of 170 again, but maybe it bounces off of this 200 moving average around 176 potentially. It looks like it's already below it on the overnight hours to 174, but deeply oversold NVIDIA with potential upside of over 50% based on free cash flow valuations. Option strategies including buying ITM calls or selling short OTM puts for yield. We don't trade options here, but just a little bit of extra knowledge for you all. even seeing highs from, you know, what is it, 174 currently? Let's just say 175. Maybe you don't get in at 174. To previous resistance levels is a nice 10% profit. If we can go back up to all-time highs around 212, you can see a 20% profit potential. And again, I like this company because it is very bullish. Now, I wouldn't say, hey, go buy Nvidia right now. Let's wait for that pullback. Let's wait for confirmation that it does bounce off of this $170 level. Because remember, this can sell off to $100, right? 150, 100, 86 bucks at one point this company was sitting at, okay? Looks like it has a nice little consolidation period around 97-ish. Doesn't mean it has to sell off that much because, again, it has a ton of money, right? And this is a company that actually makes money because it actually sells products and services, not like, you know, micro tragedies, not like MicroStrategy, right? Where they don't sell anything. So Nvidia is definitely one of those companies that I am going to be keeping my eye on. If we get a significant dip, I'll be buying more. Remember, I did buy sub $100, right around $100 back in April of 2025. I bought in this area. So for me personally, I would love to see another pullback, right? Because I bought in this. Oh, what the heck happened? I bought in this area right here. Okay, so anything above this is great. Now I did take a little bit off the top around this initial area when I thought it was going to drop below 170. I took some off the table. I locked in some profits, and hey, not bad. I'd love to see it pull back more. I could buy more. At no point I'm like, hey, I bought way up here. I think you guys should buy too, and just because I bought so high. No, not at all, right? If you want to get a good price on Nvidia, wait for it to come down a little bit more. But I would definitely not say, hey, go and put all your money on Nvidia, right? If you want to get a couple shares long term, great. No big deal there. Okay. Let's see, what else? Are you guys saying anything here? Okay. Another company would be Amazon, right? Amazon, another solid company with a lot of great fundamentals behind it. Amazon is trading at an 18% discount right now, benefiting also from cloud computing growth and AI adoption. We can see this thing push up pretty significantly, right? It's already starting a bounce. Potential resistance levels around 15% from where it is already, but just to let you know, it's already pushed up about 8% from that support level. It bounced off that 196 support level very nicely. It's now sitting at 208 overnight. If it can push up to those all-time highs of $258, you can see a 21% profit. Another great company to invest in. If it drops a little bit, you could always buy more. And if it pushes up, then you can benefit from 10 to 20% in profits. Now, it's already bounced off of a pretty major support level of 196.50. As you can see right here, a beautiful move. You know, like clockwork, right? It double bottomed, sold all the way off to 196, popped up, came down, held at that 196 level, and was making its way up. Now, obviously, it is down slightly, so let it sell off. Maybe it comes back down to 196 or retest. Maybe it sells off a little bit more than that, but still not a bad price for Amazon below $200 or even at $200, okay? And we'll get into some day trades as well. I just want to get into a couple of these long-term plays with you guys because I know this isn't something that we talk a lot about, but you know, not only are we day traders, we are what? We are bargain hunters. So when you could buy a brand new pair of Nikes that cost $220 and they're on sale for $199, $150, $100, you don't think you're going to pick yourself up a brand new pair at a 20, 30, 40% discount? I would, right? All right. Let's see what else. And let me know if you guys have any stock picks that you guys would like me to go over. Definitely share. Definitely share. NVL, MVRL, right? MRVL. Marvel Technologies Okay, we don't talk a lot about Marvel, but we have actually watched it in the past. We've had it on the watch list before. It does pay a quarterly dividend of about 6 cents. It's had a low of $46.93. It finds a lot of support right around, I'd say, 69.50. You could even say a support around 63 is fair. But right around $70 would be a good buy for this. Now, it is down 3.8% in the overnight hours, but it's still under this resistance level. Would I consider buying it at the moment? Possibly, right? Marvel fell 45% from most recent highs of $127, and it's offering a 24% discount and a potential rebound. I mean, this is a strong green candle that it's experienced on the last couple of days on Thursday and Friday. Now, it is touching a recent resistance level of around 94.50. So let this pull back. Maybe it tests this moving average one more time to showcase support, or it drops below and actually kind of trades within this horizontal pattern. Now, if it can break out of this resistance level, okay, say you're buying tomorrow at $86, right? If you see signs that it's pushing up, just to this resistance level is 10%. Having a tight stop loss, of course, because you don't want to hold all the way down to 70. I'd rather you wait for confirmation that it breaks this 94, 95 resistance, and then you could see a nice, 40 to 50% profit on Marvel if it breaks this resistance level. Now, if it sells off, has the potential to sell off 20%. We wait for this to validate either the moving average back to resistant. That little move right there is 20%, or it comes all the way back down to 69 or $70, and that's a 35% move. Just those two little yellow lines. Now, obviously, if it pushes higher, we just said you can get up 40, 50, even 60% on Marvel. Okay, so that's my third one that I thought there was a lot of value in. Another one that we have been watching, and I don't even, I've been kind of debating whether or not I even want to talk about it or not, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, okay? There's so many other companies out there, but we're going to talk about it because it's a company that I have traded before. I traded it right within this little window here. It's a small horizontal pattern right above this moving average, and it's sold off all the way down to a previous support of $7. Now it's trading within this range between $7 and $9. And you can see that very clearly right here. Touched 690, pushed up to 9, came back down to 7, pushed up to 960, came back down to 7. And I'm talking about this company too because there are a lot of Discord members who have bought the dip on this, right? There's also a lot of Discord members who trade this daily. They're buying these lows at 8, selling them at 860, buying at 780, selling at 870. I mean, that is a huge intraday move right there. That's 11% in a single day on Sound. Now, on the bigger scale, buying from 7 and selling at 9 is just shy of 29%, almost 30% profit, buying from $7 a share and holding to $9 a share. That's $2 per share. Now imagine buying 100 shares of this at $7. That's $700. Not bad. You hold until this resistance level of $9 and you make, and that's $900, and you make $200. And this wasn't in a month or a year. This was in 10 days. 10 days, just a little over 1 week. Now, I do have my alert set. If it drops below 770, it's currently at 774 because I want to keep up to date with this. If it drops below that, then we can see lows of 7. And I would not mind actually buying some Sound if it makes sense to me. Say I'm buying at $7 flat. Okay, I want to buy at $7 if it even gets that low. I want to buy at $7, or actually, let's bring this up a little bit. Say I buy at 7.30. I'm willing to risk 30 cents. Let's go 7.90, 7.90 right there. I'm willing to risk 30 cents or about 5% to make close to $2 or 23%. That would be a decent trade. Now, obviously, the lower you can get to 7, the better. I'd love to see, 7, 10, 7 on the dot, because then I could be risking 2% to make that 27%, almost 30%. I'm risking 10 to 20 cents per share. So on 100 shares, I'm risking 10 to $20, and that's pretty normal for my day trades. I usually risk $20 to make 40, 60, $100 per trade. So why not do the same thing for a swing trade? Risking 10 or $20 to make $200. All right, doesn't mean it has to happen, but it is very possible. And this is what I love to see about companies that trade horizontal patterns, because history and patterns do tend to repeat themselves. Now, not always. We can see sound sell off even more. Okay, you got to remember, at one time this was a penny stock, selling where you could buy and sell this around $1.49, around $2. Okay, pumped all the way up to $25. Had a nice, beautiful 3 stages of a reversal pattern. This is just textbook, guys. Textbook. From $25 down to 7. That was a 72% sell-off. It consolidated, and then it began to push up. And it pushed all the way up to $22. 189% profit. Now, does that mean it has to do that again? No. Is it possible? Yeah, I mean, it is actually very possible. If we draw a trend line from 25 to here, we can see that its potential is around 150%, right? If this begins to recover and really show some, aggressive momentum to the upside, getting a lot of buyers and creating hype, maybe some news or some type of catalyst, we can see this potentially push up $150. Maybe it goes up to $20 flat. This would be right along the line of $20 right here in this area. So we're going to save this trade idea, and we'll see if it actually plays out. That's why I'm keeping a close eye out on this. If it does begin to sell off more, then we'll know. Let's go ahead and go down to 655. Okay, 655 with a tight recovery around $8. Right? If it pushes above 8, there might be some more upward momentum. But right now, it's getting rejected off of this 200-day moving average. All right. Now that's 4. I do have a 5th one, but I want to see if any of you guys want to share any company that you want me to look at. Let's take a look what you guys are saying. Andrew put, my long hold on Soundhound is down a lot, but I think I'm going to get my average slammed down. What do you think? I think it's a good idea, right? It depends on what your average is right now. I believe you traded this, right, from $7 to $9, or maybe you had an average of like $8. Just make sure you have a tight stop, right? Because if it breaks this support level that it clearly showcases once, twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times, 5 times, if it breaks that support level of 7 and holds below it, then Sound could be in trouble, right? And if you're looking on the 4-hour time frame, it is a descending pattern. This has been selling off since October of last year. It tries to break above this moving average, gets rejected, sells off more. Tries to break above the moving average, gets rejected, and it's selling off. So could we see more selling pressure and lower lows on Sound? Yeah, totally. It's the same way we could see higher highs on Sound when it begins to recover. So again, don't put all your eggs into one basket. Maybe you average down a little bit. Another thought too, if you don't have a ton of shares, you can really aggressively average down. So say you have an 850 average at 100 shares, right? What really is that? It's like $850. Now what you could do on these pullbacks, you could aggressively average down. Maybe you're buying 2, 3, 4, 500 shares at a 770. And when you get these, slight pushes up, then you can have a better average. There's a whole average calculator that you can get online. So like this right here is, I can't see it because that's in the way. This is 81 cents, an 81-cent difference. So if you bought 100, if you had 100 shares here and you had 100 shares here, then your average would go down by 40 cents. You'd now have a 40-cent difference, which would be right around where all this consolidation was, right around $8. Now, if you bought 200 shares, then you'd be looking more like a 20-cent. 400 shares, or is it 300 shares? 300 shares maybe about 15%, and 400 shares would be about a 10-cent move. So to get yourself out of the water, if you had 100 shares here, you could buy 400 shares here, and now you only need a 10% upside to break even and get out. Now, it's not for everyone. I would not recommend it for beginners to do something crazy like that. But with the way that SoundHound moves, with these intraday moves up, down, up, down, up, down, you could buy pretty aggressively at a low, wait for it to spike up, and at least get out break even. That's what I've done in the past, as long as you have a tight stop loss. If it doesn't play out to your advantage at 770, you buy 400 shares and it goes down another 20 cents. I wouldn't expect you to hold it more than, say, 20 cents, right? Because that's going to be a huge loss. That's like another $80 that you would be down if it crosses below 750. So make sure you understand support, resistance, and also, when to go heavy, when to go lighter. Now you could also just take a loss, right? Sell your 850 position if you had it. Maybe you cut it by half. Maybe you have 100 shares. Maybe you cut it by 50 shares, and then you buy 50 shares down here. That would also bring your average down enough to where if this pushes back up to $8, you can get out either break even or at a smaller loss. But again, that's not necessarily for everybody. Okay, that's why I didn't even really want to talk about sound, because it is showing this, aggressive selling pressure, and it has been selling off for quite some time. Okay, so just be aware of that. But I know I wanted to talk about it because we do have members in our community that own it, trade it, and wanted some more information on it. My micro gamble this month is Wix. I found their earnings report good this week. IBM, Microsoft, Netflix, and Hood. I've built up some position for long term. I may be early, but will ignore the noise. Hey, those are all solid companies. Netflix is solid. Hood is solid. Microsoft is solid. I mean, all these companies actually make money. They sell services or they sell a product. IBM, another solid company. I don't really, know a lot about it, but I know what the company is made up of, and it is a solid company. Oh, and the Zscaler, I've averaged down a lot. That's became much cheaper than I anticipated. Yeah, and I don't really know a lot about Zscaler. Now, you brought up a good point. Netflix will be our fifth one. Since you brought up Netflix, and it's something that I've been watching and I have traded in the past, we will talk about Netflix, okay? Netflix with a beautiful support at $75, selling off from $134. That is a 42% discount. Do you guys think Netflix is going anywhere anytime soon, guys? I don't think so. Their user base is so large. They're constantly getting more and more users using Netflix. Netflix is a streaming service for everyone who doesn't know. They have a free version with ads. Well, actually, I don't think it's free anymore. They have a paid version with ads. They have another version with no ads. I mean, they have add-ons. They do a lot. Netflix is a pretty big company to get into. Now, recently had a 43% discount, right, from highs of 134 to lows of 75. I did try to buy this and anticipate this rally a little while ago. I wish I would have done a better job by actually holding this company. But again, I'm more of a day trader, so I wanted to make sure that I had my money to be able to use. But I was buying it around, let me see, where is it at? I was buying it right here for the anticipation that it would go up to the $100, right? buying, 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 buying. At one point, I had a nice average, I think, of around maybe $85. And I sold at the absolute bottom, guys. I sold at $75.42. And what did it do? A week later, it pumped. It pumped up from $75 to $100 in 9 days. And of course, I wouldn't be in this position. $25 per share. I had close to 10 shares. That would have been $250 just holding Netflix, right? Now, of course, coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's not what I like to do here. But I like to showcase to you that we are talking about companies that we actually see value in, that we actually put our money in, right? I'm not just talking. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm taking these trades in anticipation that they're going to go up. And this trade didn't go in my favor when I wanted it to, but it definitely played out the way I thought it would. And this has a lot of potential too. The move isn't over, right? So from $75 support, showcasing that it's a very strong support level, up to $100. That was a 32% profit. Okay, we just talked about that. Now, there is a slight pullback to $96 overnight. Now, if it holds above this 45 EMA, this blue line, then we can see more continuation to the upside. Yes, that's right. More continuation to the upside if it in fact holds above this moving average. Now, if it crosses below the moving average, then we can actually see the opposite happen. We can see this actually come down. This thing's bugging me right here. This thing could actually push down back to the 200-day moving average. And we could see another 10% to an 11% sell-off back to $84. So there's two scenarios here, but it's all going to play off. And we'll know more or less which direction it's going to take once it decides what it's going to do at this key level. Is this going to be support, or is this going to act as resistance? Is it going to hold above this blue line and pop up, or is it going to sell off and get rejected? And this is on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, I want you guys to be aware of that. Oh, I didn't realize I could actually have pulled this down because we're not trading right now. It's only good when the market's open. Nonetheless, though, if we take a look at the actual long term on the daily time frame, you can see this has plenty of potential to go back up to test the moving average, right? So about a 10% move to test the moving average around 110. Maybe by the time it retests it, maybe it's at 109, 110, something like that. And the last time it tested the moving average, it got rejected. So I want you to be aware of that, okay? Very bullish company from lows of $34 to highs of $134, which sounds crazy. Why would it make an almost perfect $100 move in about 3 years? Okay, so a little bit longer. But what I want to showcase to you is how strong of an uptrend this was. Every time it had a pullback, it bounced up. Pullback, bounced up. Pull back to that moving average, bounced all the way up. So we can see something like that happen, very soon. There was a lot of consolidation. It validated support at $75. So now let's see, is this going to push higher or lower? And we'll know probably by the next couple of days, right? The next couple of days, we'll get some sort of indication because this moving average will probably flatten out. And it'll either be above that moving average or below the moving average. So Netflix is another solid company that I think if you play your cards right, you can see a pretty nice upside to this. Did we even talk about that? We talked about the 10% to the moving average, but what happens if it crosses over the moving average to all-time highs again of 134? That's another 35% profit move right there. Nothing saying it has to, but it's definitely possible, and that's why I have my alerts set above $100.39 and below, let's go below $95, okay, on the 30-minute time frame. So we'll see what happens. $95 is showcasing support. We'll see if it breaks $95. If it holds, then $95 would have been a nice place to buy. Even a $5 move, right? From 95 to 100, $5, 5%. So great call out to you, Major. And yeah, unfortunately, I just I couldn't hold long enough to, what is it? Not contribute, but to be a part of this big move up. So yeah, we talked about a lot of great companies. We are now sitting at, what are we at right now? What are we at, guys? We're at 40 minutes for our Sunday stock talk. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Let's go ahead and see where QQQ is. QQQ is trying to hold around 586. So what can we expect from QQQ? Well, this happened last Sunday night. If you guys watched last week's Sunday night, we all witnessed it go down to 590 from highs of 607 all the way down to 590, and then it recovered all the way back up to 610. So we can see either a major recovery tomorrow with obviously days coming back to that 590. It recovered in one day, sold off in one day, and then recovered and pushed higher. It's been very choppy for not only just a couple of days, but for weeks, maybe even a month now. This thing has been chopping between 587 and 617. And would you look at that, actually, if I were to take this support of 602 down to where this is, what's that, 587.44? What is it at right now? 587.87. So history does tend to repeat itself. It already touched 587 back on February 5th. Now it's testing it again on March 6th. Well, March 8th, technically. Now we can see a swift recovery. I mean, this thing recovered literally in a single day from that low. In a single day, it pushed up 4% or $25. So I want you guys to know that this could do the exact same thing, right? It can push up 5%, around 4 or 5% or $25 very easily. It can do it in a day, it can do it in a week. So I want you guys to be aware of that, right? If you think you're going to short the market at this level, I want you to be aware that this is a common support level. Does it mean it has to bounce off of this level? No. Could it? Yes. And I'm sorry that my lines are so choppy. Maybe I should try to get rid of a few lines. Some of these are intraday. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get rid of a couple of these lines. I know what I'm looking at. You guys know what you're looking at because you show up every day. You show up to these live streams. So let's get rid of these ones right here, just showcasing those all-time highs. I really don't want to do that. I'll keep this one at 611. But what I want to showcase to you is the bigger picture here, right? Bigger picture. It's been consolidating since October of last year. It hasn't made really any lower lows. It hasn't made any higher highs than that 636 level. Okay, it's been consolidating within this range. It's right around a major support level, not only on this support level I've drawn at 587, but also on this moving average. This moving average right now is at 587.93. Overnight hours is 587.50. If it drops below any more and holds, we can see some significant selling pressure like we saw back in February 2025. It broke that moving average after all-time highs of 536. You see here, 1, 2, a double top, sold off down to the moving average, which was 9%, retested, and then sold off to $400.96. That was a 25% sell-off. Now let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look. Double top, all-time highs at that period, sold off 25% after it got rejected off of this level. 25%. What does that look like? Ooh-wee. 470, let's just call it $475. Could we see a 25% drop like we saw here? Yeah, totally. There's nothing saying that this can happen. So I want you guys to be aware. There's some crazy, crazy stuff that could technically happen if if it does happen, right? Look at that. Look at that freaking move. Double top, 25% sell off. Double top, potential 25% sell off. It's the same story. And it's funny because history tends to repeat itself so often. I don't even think it comes to a surprise anymore if you've been in the market long enough to understand what could potentially happen. So when you do experience a 25% sell off, you're not taken back. You're not super scared thinking the world's going to end. You just know this has happened in the past and it could happen again. Or this can recover. It can recover very easily. But right now we're seeing a lot of selling pressure. So I'm excited to do what, guys? I'm excited to be here with you guys tomorrow morning again for another live day trading session at Market Open. I'm super excited. And I want you guys to know, if you want to sign up and be a part of our Learn to Earn team, all you have to do is click the first link in the description, and that'll give you 100% free lifetime access to our Discord community, our daily live day trading sessions with me and our team. And by the end of this month, we will have a full A to Z Learn to Earn lesson library. It's called our Learn to Earn Academy. And you will get access to that 100% free for life. But we just crossed over 750 members in the Discord. When we hit 1,000 members, this service will no longer be free. It will be a paid service from this point on. Now, we'll still have the free Discord. You'll still have access to me and the free Discord, but you will have to pay to get into the paid Discord, the paid Learn to Earn Academy, and from that point forward, you'll no longer be able to see me trade live anymore unless you're in that paid Discord. So what do you have to lose? Get in now. Got 250 spots left. Or the end of the month, whichever one comes first. I don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to hit 1,000 members quicker than you think. We're getting 10 to 15 new members every single day in the free Discord. And like promised, when we hit 1,000 members, I will be transferring all 1,000 members over to the paid Discord 100% free. Anyone after 1,000 members will have to pay to get the same quality live day trading sessions, the same quality Learn to Earn A to Z library that you will get. They'll have to pay for that, guys. So consider yourselves special. Consider yourselves even a little privileged because you're getting this early access to me and to my future self and community as it grows. All 100% free. You also get my past live day trading sessions. There's over 2 years of daily live streams. There's an archive that you get to look at. So you watch my live day trading sessions in the future. You get to watch all the ones in the past so that you can become more experienced, a more knowledgeable day trader, or just trader in general by understanding how to take trades. Get inside my head and my thought process as to how I am consistently locking in profits every day. Some days we only lock in 20, 30 bucks. Some days we lock in 80, 90, 100 bucks. Some days we lock in more. And some days we lose a little money. But I guarantee you, we have a lot more winning days, winning trades than losing days. And we manage our risk to where our loser is $10 or $20 and our winners are everything above that. So I appreciate you guys' time. Like always, let's remember to manage our risk, watch our position size, and never trade based on anyone's opinion Only trade what you see value in. We'll see you all tomorrow, bright and early, for our live day trading session, as always. And we will see you there. Have a great rest of your night. And remember, let's end the year on a green note, my friends. Have a great day and have a great Sunday.